Chosen one, the heavens have paused in awe. Angels are attentive, and creation holds its breath, because one decision you made has echoed through the unseen realms. How could one choice of yours cause such a stir in eternity? Listen carefully. This is no coincidence, no mere chance. You did not come across this message by accident. This moment has been divinely orchestrated, for something has shifted in your spirit, and the invisible realm has taken note. Right now, as you hear these words, your heart's actions are being recorded by angels. They are watching to see if you understand the significance of this moment, because your recent decision, your act of surrender, has done more than change your life. It has captured heaven's attention. For months or even years, you have borne a heavy burden, fought unseen battles, whispered prayers you felt went unheard, but heaven has always been listening and watching. And when you made that seemingly small choice, it resonated loudly in eternity, making demons tremble and angels rejoice. You felt unseen, thought your struggles went unnoticed, believing perhaps that God had forgotten you, but chosen one. This was the moment heaven paused because you remembered who you truly are. The enemy wished for your defeat. The world sought your silence. But God has awaited this very moment, when you would cease to simply survive and begin to thrive, when you'd step out from hiding and let your light shine. What you are about to learn in the coming moments will clarify why your life feels guided, as if you are a star in a divine narrative directed by God. This moment is your breakthrough scene. If this message is touching something deep within your spirit, do not disregard it. Express your understanding. Click to remain connected with Chosen by God, and respond with the number 707 in your reflections. Not as a superstitious act, but as a profound agreement with the divine words spoken over your life right now. The number 77 signifies divine completeness. It's the echo of heaven's applause for your faithful obedience. To those who have supported this message in any form, prayer, time, offering, you are not merely aiding a ministry. You are joining heaven in delivering hope to someone in their darkest moment. Now, take a deep breath, chosen one. Stay attentive, for what you are about to discover can transform your understanding of destiny. Heaven's pause signals that now is your time to rise. Did you think no one noticed when you made that decision in the shadows? Did you feel your 3:00 a.m. tears on that lonely pillow were invisible to the heavens? Did you believe that moment of surrender, when giving up was not an option, passed unnoticed? You were mistaken. Heaven saw it all. Every silent prayer whispered through gritted teeth. Every choice to rise again, even when staying down seemed easier. Every path you chose in love when anger seemed justified. That seemingly hidden choice sent tremors through eternity. Listen closely, chosen one. You have carried burdens that would have crushed others. You've traveled through valleys so dark that even your shadow disappeared. But here is what you didn't realize. Heaven has been taking account, not of your failures, but of your unwavering faithfulness. Not of your falls, but of your strength to rise again. Reflect on this. How many nights did you lay awake questioning if God had forgotten where you are? How many times did you pray prayers that you felt bounced right back at you? How often did you feel unseen, overlooked, abandoned by the very God you've served? But beloved, you were never invisible. You were undergoing refinement. That small flicker of hope in your heart during the darkest moments? It didn't merely survive, it burned brightly. The words from John 1:5 proclaim that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. That light is within you. That flame in your spirit, even when all else looked bleak, caught heaven's eye. Heaven wasn't surprised by your weaknesses. They expected you to stumble. Heaven was prepared for your struggles. What left them speechless was your resilience. What amazed creation was that despite being knocked down by life, you stood up each time. After every betrayal, every loss, every heartbreak that could have finished you, you chose to persevere. That discreet step you took, choosing to trust God again, loving one more soul, forgiving another offense, trying for one more day, created ripples across all realms of existence. But here's what heaven knows that you are beginning to discover. That hidden step was not the conclusion of your story. It was the beginning of your most powerful chapter yet. About those tears heaven kept record of. Beloved one, let me speak about the tears you thought went unnoticed. Those early morning hours when your pillow was drenched and your heart aching. The times you turned to the wall in order not to show your pain. The silent cries in your car, in the shower, at home alone, when the world felt too heavy. You considered those tears wasted. You thought they vanished into emptiness. But listen to what King David learned in Psalm 56:8. God keeps track of all your sorrows. He collects all your tears in his bottle. He records each one in his book. Each tear accounted for. Each drop of pain treasured. Every time you felt forsaken, heaven bore witness. For decades, you've shouldered burdens that might have broken others. Losses of loved ones, friendships betrayed, dreams that withered, prayers that seemed unanswered. You've wept for prodigal children, empty finances, faltering health, and a world that seemed to ignore your worth. But the enemy never wanted you to realize those tears were not weakness. They were seeds. Each tear contained the essence of your testimony. Each cry carried your faith's unyielding spirit. Imagine a farmer sowing seeds during winter. The ground appears lifeless. The seeds seem buried forever, but beneath the surface, life is stirring. Your tears have watered ground that appeared barren, preparing soil for a harvest beyond your imagination. Those tears shed for your son. His redemption is burgeoning. Tears for financial struggles, they've been nurturing ground for abundance. Tears of loneliness, heaven has been using them to cultivate astounding relationships. Beloved, know that nothing in heaven is wasted, especially the tears of the faithful. The tears you thought wasted are now your crown. Every drop transformed into a jewel reflecting heaven's light. Your sorrow has morphed into strength. Your mourning is turning to rejoicing. If you've cried unseen tears, if you've wept in secret, declare in your heart, I hear you, Lord. Do not merely read these words. Embrace them. Let heaven know that you understand your pain was not purposeless, but this is just the beginning of your story, because what heaven has done with your tears pales in comparison to what's yet to unfold from the decision that made all of heaven halt. Next, the crown that is within reach. Beloved one, it's time to lift your head high, release the shame that has weighed you down, and understand every scar. Every sleepless night has shaped something exquisite. Heaven has been watching, recording, collecting every ounce of pain, transforming it into priceless elegance. Your scars are not marks of failure. They are gems adorning a crown crafted just for you. Listen to God's promise in Deuteronomy 28:13. The Lord will make you the head, not the tail. This is not a mere hope or a lucky chance. It is a divine promise etched into the annals of time. Moreover, there's a stirring in the unseen world right now. Heaven is in awe. Angels are leaning in closer because, after years of seeing you struggle and stoop low when you were born to rule, something has awakened. You finally looked upward. You remembered that crowns aren't earned through flawless perfection, but rather through heartfelt obedience. Every betrayal meant to break you became a diamond. Every rejection that aimed to silence you turned into a ruby. Every moment you chose to rise when everything urged you to stay down transformed into another jewel in the crown heaven is now placing upon your life. Do you feel it? The substantial weight settling upon your shoulders is not an undue burden. It is rightful authority. It is not simply pressure. It is your divine purpose. Heaven is gracefully lowering this crown onto your head right now, and the entire spiritual realm holds its breath in anticipation. For years, perhaps a lifetime, you may have looked in the mirror and seen failure, seen mistakes, seen someone unworthy of blessing. Yet, heaven sees something drastically different. Heaven sees royalty that has been disguised by ordinary garments. The crown has always been within reach. Your eyes were merely fixed in the wrong direction. You were looking down at your feet when you should have been lifting your gaze to the heavenly throne room where your rightful place has been reserved. At this very moment, heaven is placing the crown upon you. Feel the transformation? The shift in atmosphere, your posture becoming firm, your voice echoing with newfound authority. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about finally becoming who you've always been meant to be. If you're prepared to relinquish the oppressive mantle of shame and don the radiant crown of righteousness, boldly acknowledge this with a heartfelt declaration. I claim my crown. Don't whisper it. Proclaim it with conviction. Heaven eagerly waits to hear your voice affirm what it has always known. But choosing your crown involves embracing all that accompanies it: the responsibility, the authority, the call to rise above mediocrity and stand in the power of your true identity. Are you ready for this profound transformation? Now, from chains to freedom, the grand release. Beloved one, can you feel it? The weight you've carried for so long is starting to lift. You've walked for too long with invisible chains encircling your soul. Chains your ancestors bore, chains spoken of in whispered prayers, chains that told lies about your value, your future, and your children's destiny. But something has just snapped. The Apostle Paul in Galatians 5:1 declares, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free." Not a partial freedom, nor a temporary reprieve, but complete, unequivocal generational freedom. Listen carefully. When you made that choice, when you said enough to fear, to shame, to the cycles that have haunted your family lineage, you not only liberated yourself, you shattered chains that were already threatening your progeny. Consider this. That addiction that ran through your family, broken. That spirit of poverty that told generations they would never ascend, demolished. That cycle of broken relationships and abandoned dreams, silenced. You have become the chain breaker. Your grandmother bore shame without a name. Your parents fought battles they couldn't conquer. But you are the one heaven has chosen to halt the cycle. When those spiritual shackles collapsed, the resonance was felt backward through time and forward into eternity. Your grandchildren will stand taller because of your actions. They will dream bigger, love more deeply, and walk with confidence they inherit from you, never having to bear the weight you chose not to pass on. This is the moment when heaven paused in amazement. Angels celebrate not only singular victories but generational deliverance. They rejoice when your obedience rewrites the future of an entire family. Can you sense it? Your spirit is embracing freedom, perhaps for the first time in your life. Not the shallow, fleeting freedom the world offers, but divine liberation that transforms your very soul and lineage. You are not the same person who awoke this morning. The legacy of defeat has been rewritten, the blueprint of bondage eradicated. You are now walking in the true liberty of being a child of God. If this shift is happening within you right now, don't let this moment elude you. Declare it by reflecting this truth within your heart and spirit. But what's even more profound than your newfound freedom is what's about to unfold. The ripple of obedience. Generational shifts? Beloved one, do you grasp the magnitude of what you have put into motion? When you cast that stone of obedience into the calm waters of your destiny, it didn't just splash. It created ripples that extend toward shores far and wide, beyond what you can see in this lifetime. Your decision didn't occur in isolation. It reverberated through eternity. Pause and consider this. Your great-grandmother made choices that affected your bloodline, decisions that unlocked or closed doors for generations she would never meet. Some of you are enduring the consequences of someone else's missteps right now. The addiction that persists, the poverty that lingers, the broken relationships that repeat endlessly. However, here's what heaven wants you to grasp today. The chain halts with you. Through Moses, God conveyed in Deuteronomy 30:19, "I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live. You have just chosen life, not only for yourself but for the countless future generations. Those yet born will walk through the portals your obedience has opened. They'll inherit blessings that they didn't labor for, all because you uttered yes when it demanded all you had. Your decision has become a pivotal moment, recorded in eternity. Allow me to pose a question that might astound you. How many generations have waited for someone in your lineage to finally get it right? How many ancestors are rejoicing in heaven right now because you shattered the chains they couldn't break? How many descendants will eventually appreciate God for your decision in this moment? You might have thought your struggle was solely about you. It wasn't. You were waging war for your children's children, breaking shackles that have ensnared your family for decades, maybe even centuries. Each time you opted to pray instead of giving up, you weakened those chains. Every time you chose faith amidst fear, you loosened the grip of generational curses. And when you ventured into full surrender, those chains did not merely loosen, they shattered completely. The ripple is already spreading outward. Your son battling addiction, the ripple is reaching him. Your daughter searching for her purpose, a wave of blessings is on its path to her. That grandchild you always prayed for, a door has just swung open. But here's the revelation that will truly astound you. This ripple doesn't move just forward, it travels backward as well. Anticipate unforeseen reconciliation with family members who long ago penned you off. Relationships assumed long past healing are about to be revived because heaven is restructuring the narrative of your entire bloodline. However, consider this. What if you had chosen differently? The thought can both terrify and inspire. As we reach the conclusion of this sacred moment, here are 3 truths to anchor you. Firstly, understand that what transpired within your heart today was no mistake. It was divinely orchestrated. Chosen by God recognizes that your breakthrough was destined in God's grand design. The shockwaves rippling through eternity as you finally embraced your destiny are the sounds of purpose aligning perfectly. You are not behind schedule, not late. You are exactly where you need to be. Secondly, hold this truth. The flame now kindled within you is inextinguishable by human power, circumstances, or the passage of time. You've been marked, secured, and commissioned. The chains that once bound you are not merely broken, they are obliterated beyond repair. The burden you carried has been swapped for wings. You are no longer simply enduring your story. You are soaring with it. Lastly, never forget, your obedience has created ripples still in motion. Each coming generation will be blessed as you chose to end the cycle. Every ancestor who struggled with what you have conquered now celebrates alongside you. Your decision stands as a defining point within eternity. Nothing can erase what God has inscribed. However, rest assured, you do not walk this journey alone. The same God who astounded heaven with your obedience works tirelessly in your life even now. He didn't lead you here to desert you. He didn't heal you to see you broken once more. He didn't open doors to have you retreat. You are part of a vast community spread across nations and the world. Chosen ones who have felt your pain, carried similar burdens, and arrived at the truth that God's love never fails, never fades, and never abandons His children. When you falter, this community will uplift you. When doubt clouds your mind, they will remind you of your identity. When you triumph, heaven and earth will fleetly rejoice with you. So let me ask, and take time to contemplate the answer. If God amazed heaven with your recent actions, what might He be orchestrating for your next steps? Before you conclude this journey with Chosen by God, hundreds of thousands find hope, healing, and purpose through messages like this, but more importantly, they find each other. Share your journey. It may be the encouragement someone else needs. Express your recognition. I claim my crown. Affirm your visible presence in God's eyes. Heaven saw me. Your words could be the very insight another in darkness needs to hear. Extend this understanding to those in your circle. Share this realization you found in community, through chosen by God. Let them know they're seen, they're loved, and certainly not forgotten. When God's whisper resonates through messages like these, its reach and the fostering of connectedness are profound. Stick with Chosen by God as your journey through breakthroughs turns into a continuous path of uplifting unity and shared purpose. Thank you for spending this sacred time. Thank you for permitting me to touch your life. Thank you for daring to embrace the belief that brighter days await. Now, before the parting, let me offer a prayer, not just as a speaker, but as someone who has traversed valleys and emerged strengthened. Someone with lived experience of God's unwavering faithfulness. A prayer for the chosen. Father God, I come before you for each chosen one hearing this message. Lord, you know them by name. You are aware of their struggles, their fears, their hidden tears, and their silent triumphs. I ask your blessing to envelop their lives at this moment. Where there is brokenness, bring restoration. Where confusion persists, bring clarity. Where delays have abounded, usher in divine acceleration. Let your presence manifest in undeniable ways. Surround them with a shield of favor. Open doors that none can close. Provide opportunities that exceed any mortal expectation. Allow today's obedience to sprout miracles tomorrow. Heal hearts from wounds that deceived them into thinking they were insufficient. Restore the confidence of their calling. Let them proudly carry the assurance of your approval, anointing, and authority. Guard minds against the deceitful whispers of the enemy. Let them return to the strongholds of this moment when doubt creeps in. When fear rises, remind them of their heavenly affirmation with courage that stunned the heavens. Bless their families, Lord. Let breakthroughs overflow into homes, marriages, children, and communities. May they become vessels of your love, hope, and power. And Father, grant them resolve to forge ahead when roads grow hard. Assure them of your constant presence and that the narrative of their life continues under your guidance. In Jesus' mighty name, I offer this prayer. Amen. Go forward confidently. Chosen one. Know that heaven watches, angels cheer, and your journey of breakthrough has only begun. Until we meet again, remember who you are, remember whose you are, and never forget, you are chosen for such a time as this.